Hello, everybody. I'm Jerry Donaghy. This is Behind the Brush, episode 27. Hope you're all well. Let's go with the intro.
Turn the mic on, let the conversation roll. Everybody's got a story nobody knows. Some come laughing, some carrying weight. Some just need a place where they can speak straight. No fake shining, no polished lines. Just real people talking real life. One episode in and you understand why this became more than a podcast. No scripts, no acts, just honest voices having a chat. Behind the brush, where the real ones talk about the highs and lows we all walk. Big laughs, hard truths, stories that stick. Every episode it's a little different. Real raw, relatable nights, conversations carrying on past midnight. No filter, no fuss, just us. Welcome to Behind the Brush. Welcome to Behind the Brush.
Hello, everybody. Hope you're all well. I'm Jerry Donaghy. Another episode of Behind the Brush, the Painter and Decorator podcast. Yes, we're on episode 27. Another week is nearly over. It's been flat out. I've been busy with the courses last weekend. Another course today. I'm up in Belfast doing a beautiful big haul sturgeon landing for a regular customer. And it's all go. So now I get to relax and enjoy another podcast. So tonight we have on Adam Hughes. Adam Hughes is based outside of Dublin, I believe. AH Painting. First got to know Adam through the Irish Paint Fam, and he has just started out on his own. I think it's about 6 months, which is really awesome. But what's cool too is he's 26. And that's the year I started, or the age I started Paintworks NI. So I can't wait to get to learn all about Adam's journey so far, his business, what's happening, and compare and see how he's going. So let's get him on. Let's not mess about. Boom.
Oh,
Adam,
how's
how are
things?
you?
Good. How's you?
Yeah, 100%, man. It's been a busy week, very busy week. So I'm just glad to just finally get a chance to sit down and have the crack.
Yeah, it's been fairly busy now. Busy this week. Where am I? I'm based in Grand Canal Dock City Centre, so it's a bit of a nightmare with traffic getting home and stuff. But no, it's good. It's good.
I'd say
It's
so. I'd say so. Do you want to take a minute
it's
just to
where
say hello to everybody? Where you're based, what the crack is?
yeah. I'm Adam Hughes. I have a painting business, AH Painting and Decorating. I'm based outside. I'm in Laytown, County Meath, just kind of east of Meath. Yeah, I'm pretty much. God, I'm a. It depends who you ask where I'm from. Like, I'm a dub. I'm a dub, and I'll always claim to be a dub. But my mum and dad moved down to Wicklow years ago, so pretty much I went to school in Wicklow, just on the Wicklow-Wexford border. So would have been down there. God, would have lived there for 21 years. So yeah, pretty much would have served me time down there. Went to school, and yeah, then moved up. I met my missus in college, and the two of us then we went off traveling, and we came back. So we decided to move back into her mum and dad's to save up for a house. So we're currently in Mead, but I could end up anywhere.
Wise choice. Wise choice. Save the money up.
Yeah, it has to be done.
You know.
Has to be done.
So where did it all begin? Let's take you back. How far we're going back? How did we get into painting and decorating?
So I used to do a small bit around the house, and mom and dad would be putting you to work, whatever, and I hated it. Chores on chores and chores, and I just got sick of it. And the way out of it, mom and dad were like, "Well, get yourself a job. If you don't want to do the jobs on Saturday and Sunday, get yourself a job." So I was 15 searching for jobs because I just couldn't stack cutting grass anymore. So I was in a local youth club, and the fella who ran it, Dave O'Reilly, he was a painter and decorator. So mom was like, "Why don't you ask Dave and see if he has any work for you?" I was like, "Right, grand. I can't paint, grand." But so it was grand. Dave was like, "Yeah, come on ahead." So basically, to get out of chores, I used to go Saturday, Sundays, do the odd bit for him. Then that rolled into midterms, rolled into Easter breaks, summer holidays. Then it just kind of was like, I got a taste for money. So Dave was just like, "Yeah, keep it coming, keep it coming."
You were
He loved
hungry?
me. He was, I was mad for it. I couldn't get enough of it. I was coming home and I was kind of going, "Yeah, Dad, look at this," and I had a wad of cash, and he was kind of going, "Yeah, waiting the tax man catches it," you know. But he was, yeah, they kind of pushed me to use me hands. They knew that I was good in school, but I just was like, I was okay, was academic, the whole lot, was getting good enough grades, but I just didn't want to be there. I was just like, I wanted to be doing something, I wanted to be doing things, you know,
Yeah.
uh, constantly just what's next, what's next, what's next, you know. And then it'd be Saturday evening, 1:30, we'd be finishing up, myself and Dave, and I'd be kind of going, "Are we gonna start a job tomorrow?" And he'd be like, "No, I'm taking tomorrow off." You know, I was just like, "Come on, let's start another one. Like, come on, we start another
Brilliant.
one." He was loving it because, yeah, we just kind of gelled. We gelled well, and then every Friday I'd go to the U Club. It was €2 in, pool, snacks. We used to order pizza, and he'd be like, "You good for work in the morning?" And that was it. Myself, and he'd pick me up there every Saturday morning, and away I went. That was kind of how I first got into it. God, it's nearly 11. It's 11 years this year. So, since I first started properly.
Do you think because of him, was he good at showing you the ropes, explaining everything well? He gave you a chance. He obviously somebody good to work for.
Yeah. We've had our killings over the years, which was gas, but he kind of became like a second dad,
Yeah.
and we were. He was friends with my dad, and it would just be like, "Right, I'm going out with Dave. I'm going to do such and such, going to do pricing," and my dad be kind of going, like, "What?" He brought me through everything. I went in, done the pricing, done,
Brilliant.
we'd change, he was constantly, his life got easier the more he taught me quicker. The quicker he could get it into me, then it was all good. You know what I mean? He was gonna make money off me. So he was delighted that I was picking it up. Um,
Love it.
he was brilliant. He threw me in the deep end with a lot of things, and it was react and see how you go. Then he had some funny sayings over the years, like he'd be like, "Right, we're on the loaves and fishes jobs," and I'd be kind of going, "What?" And he'd be kind of going like, "The money's not on this, like we're in and out, splash and dash," and I'd be going, "Oh, right, okay, no problem." So it'd be loaves and fishes, and throw a bit of water
Brilliant.
into that, and so we had our own little innuendos over the years, and
Brilliant.
then he'd be going, "You take your time, like there's price on this," and I'd be like, "All right, yeah, no problem, yeah." So kind of we got a good vary of everything. He used to get a lot of, he'd get high end work, and then we'd be cleaning toilets and scraping toilets and graffiti, and we'd be doing all sorts of schools, and it'd be very all over the park what you'd be at. But he was a great mentor. He was a great mentor. He was very good with, you're gonna get this week because we done this job these hours, blah blah blah, and then very understanding. Yeah, like I'd be fighting with my girlfriend, or I'd be fighting with lads in school, and he'd be there. "Yeah, listen, I'm here the whole time." So we used to go in. It was like a 8-hour therapy session every day. Either he was giving out about his wife, or I was giving out about someone belonging to me. And it was just hell for leather. It was gas. And then there'd be day, he was deaf in one ear. He still is deaf in one ear, but I'd always have to remember which year it was because I'd be talking for hours. I'd just keep talking. And he wouldn't be picking up anything. He'd be picking up nothing. And I'd be going, I told you that earlier. And he'd be like, no, you didn't. And there was more there. There was more there over the years. But
Absolutely brilliant.
yeah, we
Brilliant.
were we were fairly alike. We were fairly alike. Which was good. Good and bad. Good and
Brilliant.
bad. But yeah, he was. Dave was brilliant. Dave was brilliant, and he used to be like, you're not as good as your last job tells you exactly what you
Yeah,
are.
that's true.
Simple as that. If they're not willing to get you back, then what did you do wrong? Do you know what I mean? You're doing something. There's something up. But no, he was Dave's brilliant, and we get on great. We get on great now. I'll ring him probably once a week minimum, and I'll be, what's the story? How are you getting on? Or give us a dig out with this paper, and I'll constantly ring him. And he does always be joking. I'm still gonna charge you by the hour, for your advice and all that. But he's he's gas. He is gas. But yeah,
100%.
yeah,
But
he was.
the in terms of, do you think way early on was it the money that made you enthused and you were enthusiastic to get into the with your hands and working because you could see what you could earn, or did you actually enjoy the painting? Did you actually think, I actually love this? This is, I could see myself doing this. At what point did you sort of think, let's go?
It was kind of a mixture. It was 50-50. I love the whole thing of, right, we're done for the day, let's go home. And I don't have to stick around, like we're finished and you're your own boss. So then I was kind of like, I like this, you control yourself, you control the job. Um I knew going into work what time we were finished at. If we did on everything by the book, we were good to go at 12. And I was like, happy days. I'm after getting paid for the day and I'm home by 12, 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Um the money as well. I was 15, 16, getting cash. It was handy because yeah, it was very handy, and he was paying me well. To be fair, he was paying me really
Yeah.
well, and um, he knew that I'd stick around. He knew that there was a couple of jobs in around the area. A lot of lads were farmers and stuff, and were driving and everything. I was just like, I have to get a car, have to get a car, have to get a new hurl, have to get a new helmet, have to get something. And it was just like, mom and dad are not going to give me the money. I have to go to work for it. Do you know, the sort of way?
100%.
And then my little brother was kind of unwell when he was born, so it was kind of like mom and dad's attention was all on him. So since I was about 16, I was kind of like, I don't want to be bothering them. Do you know, the sort of way? I want to be able to look after myself. I want to be able to, if mom and dad are stuck, they'll come to me. So yeah, it was kind of like, I love the independence of it, and pretty much, yeah, the money as well. The money as
Actually,
well.
so much in common there, because even when I was younger, 15, 14, 14, 15, 16, I was out, I was working. I was working in the chippy from when I was 12, my first job. And I remember getting my first £100 from Tonino, my boss. And I thought this was unbelievable. And that was just my first, right? So I can work and there's no real limit.
Mm,
Whereas just the thought of having a ceiling of income, it just never appealed to me as an employee as such. There's
mm,
nothing wrong, but with being an employee, my point is, the whole point was, I was like, right, well, how can I make as much money as possible? And started going through, well, and then my dad, he was always in the trades, my uncles, a lot of family, and I sort of said, right, okay. And I never wanted to be reliant on anybody. Like mom and dad were always just like, if you want something, son, you gotta make it yourself. You gotta get after it
yeah,
because it ain't here. There's
yeah,
five
simple.
kids. Not that we ever
Mm,
went without, but my point is, you sort of just you just had to. It was just there's no such
yeah,
thing. It was just, if you want it, you gotta go out and get it. And um, so yeah, it was like, I had this hunger. It was just, right, what can I do? It was very much very creative. Any time, any hour, any day, I was the man. I'd work 8 days if there was one.
yeah,
And it started to become more, let's make as much money as I possibly can. And I didn't, ever want to be where I was reliant on anybody. I always wanted to be in a position where I didn't need anyone, and that
Mm,
was sort of my fuel. But whenever I decided to go out on my own officially, I've talked about it before on one of the podcasts. Like Dad was like, "It's a bad idea. You're not gonna make it. You're a dose sort of thing." It was
yeah, yeah,
October.
yeah.
It was October time. It was raining. It was miserable. And what were your family like when you decided you were gonna go out on your own or pursue sort of starting your own business?
Yeah, so it's still the same. My dad was a taxi driver, so I used to see him going out on Friday night. Mum would be coming in. Mum was in the bank, and Mum was always about like get a good job, get into somewhere, work your way up the ranks. And Dad was like the opposite. He was kind of like, you know, a good Friday, Saturday, he's set up for the whole week. He'd
Brilliant.
be taxiing. But he was doing like he was driving 2.5 hours up the road, and he could go up, and it was a complete gamble. It could be pissing rain, nobody there, and he could be coming home with less money. And I used to be kind of like, you'd see it and you'd hear the between ma and dad, and yeah, it was kind of like I seen them one to be coming in the door and the other one be going out the door, and it was just constantly work, 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 work was all around me, and I was just like, well, I might as well do it. Do you know the sort of way? I might as well be at it. What else would I be doing? you know.
Yeah,
Um, and then I thought it was the business because I had a few quid. Do you know the sort of way? So I was like,
100%.
first,
Ego
up
kicks
to
in.
the, I can buy a new hurl this week, or I can go to the cinema again. That sort of thing. Um, but yeah, they would have. Dad would have been like, uh, you know, is it what you want to do? Like your wages, and you're gonna get sick pay, and sick pay is my dad thinks sick pay is the best thing on the planet. Oh Jesus Christ, he just thinks sick pay is huge. Holiday and sick pay, he's mad. He just thinks it's the bee's knees because he was in the airport for years, and then he went out taxiing, and he just went from being covered to being absolutely not covered. And you go on holidays, you're taking a 2 week hit, not just a 1 week hit, because you're dipping into your savings. So he always kind of regiment that into my head, and that kind of always stuck with me. Do you know the sort of
Yeah.
way? I was kind of like, all right, that's tough. And I was always asking these questions to Dave, like, what are we gonna do if it rains next week? And he'd be like, oh, I've got 2 jobs lined up. I have two on the
Brilliant.
back burner ready to go. So it was always in my head, right? Be progressive, stay ahead of it. You know the sort of way, and always be in the loop. Don't be just the calendar's there. Oh, who am I with next week? I'm with such and such. Monday morning we'll deal with it. You know, I was kind of Friday, Saturday evening, right? Is where am I going? Where is he picking me up? Do I need to get a lift? That sort of thing. So it was kind of, yeah, the mix of mom and dad rubbing off on me was kind of like regiment, but also Jesus. Uh, are you sure? Are you sure you want to do this? So when I did finally take the jump, dad was just like, yeah, go for it, but don't hold back. He was like, don't hold back. So he was just like, I've been talking about it for years and years, and uh, then my mom was just like, right, make sure everything's in place, insurance, van, no overheads, get everything sorted, make sure you're ready. And then I was kind of like, once Dave went away, he went to his daughter's wedding, and then I moved to a new company, and I went into a kitchen company. So I was spraying kitchens and hand painting kitchens on site. So um, Dave was kind of like, oh, I'm not going to take on as much work, and I'm starting to, kind of slow down a small bit. So I was like, right, grand. Listen, the wages are the wages. I was coming up to about 18, and I was like, kind of like, I'm working part time in a shop. I was washing trucks at the weekend, and then I was doing Monday to Friday with Dave, and I was kind of like making all this cash, but nothing is legit. You know what I mean? I was
No.
like, I had no sick pay, I had no holiday pay. Dave could go on a holiday in 2 weeks' time, and I'd be sitting at home because everybody knew me as his apprentice. So I was kind of like, right,
Yeah.
this is not gonna cut it. I need to kind of get into somewhere. So I got into Fitzgerald Kitchens, and I loved it. Oh my god, it was like, it was high end all the time. And
Brilliant.
then then there was an extra level that I had never seen before, and it was like, oh, this is lethal. Didn't even know this was here. I thought this was only in Dublin. I was like, this standard is outside of Dublin, and then I was like, yeah, I like this fine finishing. It was like, it was all, I was loving it. So then I kind of moved out of Fitzgerald's then after I'd done about 2 years in there. And I was always like, I'll just go out painting kitchens. And my mom was like, you need a workshop, you need a van, you need this, you need that. You can't run before you can walk, chill out. So then I was like constantly like, oh no, I want to do it, I want to do it. In the meantime, I listened to my mom's advice when I was doing leaving cert, and I went into college. So I went into St. Pat's in Drumcondra. So I was going to do primary teaching. So mom was like, just get something and then you can fall back to your trade. You have your experience with Dave now. You can fall back to that. So I was kind of getting the odd few nixers here and there. Mom's friends, painted mom's house 20 times, trialing this, trialing that, making the dogs dinner of this, that, and the other. And then I was kind of like in college, doing the odd day for Dave whenever he was like, I need a hand. I'd like, yeah, Grant, I'm out of college, gone, halfway through a lecture, see you later. Leave the school books there. One of the lads will bring them home. See you later. I'll be on the Wexford bus back down to Gorey. Dave, pick me up. Don't tell anyone I'm skipping college. Just pick me up, and I'll go back up on Sunday night. And so that was grand. I'd go back up to my granddad's, and granddad would be like, "Where were you for last week?" "Oh, I was on midterm. I must have had about 10 midterms through the year because I just was always working. I was always working with Dave or Dave's friend. I need a painter, and I'd be like, right, grand, I'll go do 2 days for him. Cool, happy days. And Dave would give me a location. I'd just fly down. Your man would be looking after me for the week, and I'd just be like deadly. But then it was just like, the teaching. I was teaching practice then, doing a bit of subbing, and I was just like, this isn't for me. This is just like, I liked it, but I was like, this is a job that you're gonna be locked into with a ceiling, a salary cap there. Yeah, it'll go up when you're in and you're permanent. But it was just like, I want to be at it. I want to be active. I wanted to just be like, I loved seeing the finish on the things that we could save. The sort of way you could go in and go, geez, this place is in bits. And then when you're coming out, you're going, we done an all right job in here, And that was kind of what pushed me to be like, right, I know teaching is not for me. I might fall back to it eventually when I'm sore and broke up. But I was like, no, I'm not going to do that for my 20s and my 30s. I'm definitely not going to sit in a classroom with 30 kids screaming at me. And then as I was kind of getting out, I was like, nah, definitely going back painting. Yeah. But yeah.
What sort of products were you using the kitchen company?
We're using Renner. For spraying primers, and then we'd finish everything in AquaGuard. So we used to just Johnson's AquaGuard. We'd go primer, undercoat, and then top coat satin wood. Oh, that's all we used. Yeah. And then we had obviously spray finish then as well. We'd finish it with the gun, but they wouldn't really. They were like, we'll wait until you're 2.5 years in, and then we let you go out on site spray finishing. And I was like, right, grand, yeah. And then I was like, this isn't coming. This is not coming. So I was in the factory pre-spraying primer. Then the odd day when it was quiet, we'd be spraying up carcasses for the craic and just, but it wasn't a place to be finished spraying. Do you know what I mean? Because it was going on the back of a truck, and then it was getting battered. And, eventually when it got to site, then we could make it look good. So it was good. I loved it. It was my first proper site work as well. So it was like, Dave had kind of stayed domestic, which I liked. I wasn't fan of sites because they were mucky and filthy. And I was kind of like, we could be inside in the warm houses. Why would we want to be here? So the odd while it'd come around and we'd go in, and Dave might get like 2 council houses, and they'd be like, right, these have to be flipped. Flip these. And I'd be like, all right, grand. Don't forget your hard hat. And I'd be kind of going, I don't have a hard hat. Dave, do you have a hard hat? And the two of us be looking at each other going, oh, we don't do site work. Like, we barely have a high vis between us. So,
yeah.
But we were just so much domestic. Do you know the sort of way? Constantly big houses in Wexford. anywhere pretty much in Leinster. He just wherever the call came, he'd bring us, you know. But yeah, the kitchen company then was a completely different kettle of fish. It was like it was all of a sudden, no, we don't use that paint. We only use this paint. And I was kind of going, why? You know what I mean? It works. Why? Why does it have to be one thing? So I started getting in trouble because they put me on a site in Dublin and I was in my own car and flying around in my little Fiesta and a wheel box on toolbox on wheels. And I used to be just flying around, nipping in and out. And they were like, there's a bill here for such and such in Brady's. And I'd be like, yeah. And they were like, but we've primer at home and primer in the sheds. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm up here. I'm not wasting my diesel going down. Like it's color
Yeah.
trend. I'm gonna use it. It's good stuff. No, 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 no. We only use this. And I was just like, lads, like, you know, what you're saving on that tin that I'm gonna drive 60 miles down the road to go and get. I was just like, this is pointless. You know what I mean? So eventually, I was just like, no, no. So yeah, I was finishing my degree then. So I was like, Mom was like, you're finishing it. I know you don't like it, but you're finishing it. So I was like, right, grand, graduated the whole lot. She was delighted. My dad was kind of looking at me, kind of going, he's not doing that. He's definitely not going teaching. So I was looking everywhere, looking everywhere. What will I do? Will I get a job teaching or will I go back painting? And I just was like, nah, I need to get out of here. So I was after saving a few quid because I was working all the time, not studying. And myself and the missus were just like, right, let's go traveling. So we kind of bounced down to Thailand and we done 3.5 months in Asia.
Awesome.
So we were supposed to do 6 months, but we ran out though fairly quickly. So it's just like we were gonna go do the
Living the high
whole
life.
backpacking. Oh, we were supposed to go backpacking, but as Erin said to you, she didn't know we were going backpacking, so we went hotel staying. So Erin was I had to have, you know, a pool, I had to have towels, you know.
Room service.
Room service, yeah. Jesus. Oh, stop. But there was a place in Bangkok and I was we were budgeting, like we were spending nothing. And
Yeah.
I brought us to a place. The key was on a brick, and your mum was like handing me all this sort of stuff, and I was kind of looking, going, "Where are we after?" And it was a pure brothel, and I was just like, "Oh shit, what am I after booking? What am I after booking?" Erin's getting out of the taxi after paying the fella, and I was like, "Oh shit!" So I get in, and there's a literally like a phone line, and I'm walking past all the rooms, and all the room doors are half open, and I'm like, oh no, oh no. So Aaron was just like, I'm doing the booking. I was just like, right, Grant, no problem. You can just organize all the places we stay in. So we didn't stay in any kind of shitholes after that. So it was all high life for Aaron. So but yeah, it was a good
Sounded
experience.
sounded like a good hotel in fairness.
Ah, there was bottles of water. It was bottles of water and a mattress on the ground, and we were supposed to be there for 2 nights. And there was all sorts. And about I think it was about 5:30 in the morning. I woke up. I'd sleep anywhere. I'd be on a bus. I'd fall asleep. And Erin woke me up, and she was packed, standing at the door, ready to go. 5:30 in the morning. We're not staying here again tonight. And I was just like, okay. So where are we going? And she brought us to the far side of Bangkok, away from all the mad place. And I was just like, okay, yeah, grand. So from then on, Erin was kind of she was Dora the Explorer. She kind of ruled the roost on where we were staying and what we were doing. But it was what I needed because, as everyone says, you go to find yourself, you know. And I was
Yeah.
kind of like people, and you're seeing people sitting in the pool, and I'm like, Jesus, I could do this, I could do that. I was trying to build a logo, I was trying to do this. Then I was also looking at teaching jobs. My head was spinning. And at the same time, Erin was the same. She was looking for teaching jobs. We couldn't get anything. And I was just like, why can't we get a job? Like, we're qualified. Why can't we get a job? What is the issue here? So we had to go back and do our masters when we came home. So I was like, I'm not going back to do a masters. I'm not going back in to do 2 more years of college. I'll crack up. I was like, it's not for me. So I was like, I'm gonna go out self-employed. And then Aaron was like, "Oh, well, you can't do it here." I was like, "Uh, yeah, well, I'll get the ball rolling." So I was back on the phone to Dave, sitting beside a pool in Thailand. What do you think? What will I do? And he's like, "Go for it. Why wouldn't you go for it? Do it." And he's like, "Don't come back to Ireland and do it. Do it out there." He's like, "Go to Australia. Go somewhere else." So here we were running for visas, trying to get a visa into Oz. No chance. Too late. So we were like, okay, right, we'll go home. So about nearly 4 months we came home, and I was like, I am broke. I'm after spending everything. Erin was on a career break, so she was in Tesco's, and I was like, she was able to roll back in to Tesco's. So my mom was kind of like to me, like, Erin has a job there, it's steady income, holiday pay and all this, and I'm kind of going, yeah,
Every little helps.
yeah, thanks very much, like, but she rolled back into a job, and I was like, what am I gonna do? So I found a company anyway, and it was like maintenance,
Yeah.
and 3 months they were giving me a 3 month contract. I was like, okay, grand. Where will I be based? Dublin, but we can send you anywhere in Leinster. I was like, okay, grand. So then it suited well because they'd send me down to Wexford. None of the lads would want to go anywhere down south past Dublin, and I'd be staying at my mum and dad's. So I was like, lethal, this is great. They'd send me up to Dublin, grand. I'll stay in Eros. It's grand. Do you know what I mean? It suited me. I was real flexible with it. So I was down as a painter and decorator, and I was supposed to be painting lobbies and hotels that they owned, and you know they had complexes everywhere and apartments. And then I was just like, after a couple of weeks, I was like, this wasn't what I signed up for. It was just constant move out after move out of apartment blocks. Absolute, just rip it out, paint it up, clean it up, send it on. The next people will be ready at 4 o'clock to collect the keys off you. Don't forget to give the keys to the people at 4 o'clock. And I was just like, well, what about hanging the wallpaper? Where's the wallpaper? Where's the spraying? Where's the hotel lobbies? The high-end apartments, and oh, we've big places in Ballsbridge and this, that, and the other. And I was just like, where is it all? No, it exists, but we just subcontract that out. And I'm like, but you have painters. Let us in. Let us do it. No, no, no. We just want you to do the commercial side of it. And we've got another 10 apartments. We're after buying 10 apartments down in Kildare. Will you go down and start painting them? And I was just like, this is just Groundhog Day. I was just getting
Yeah.
bored.
Yeah.
But just Magnolia and white. Go pick yourself up some Maggie. I was like, I hate Maggie. I'm sick of Maggie. I was starting to see Maggie in my sleep, and then I was starting to go blind. I was like, is that Magnolia or is that white? It's just like all I seen. And then yeah, I just kind of was just like, next minute it was like, all right, you have the painting down. So are you any good at plumbing? I was like, no. Grand. Follow him there. He'll bring you in and he'll show you how to change a toilet seat, how to do this, that, and the other. You need to be able to do that sort of maintenance as well. And then there's Richie will bring you and he'll show you a few things about the sparks. I was like, no, 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 hold on. No, I'm not touching wires. I was like, I'm not touching wires. I was like, no chance. So it was just a mad thing. Like, you could be sent in to do anything, and then you could be left alone for a couple of weeks, and it was like you were forgotten about. Right, just keep painting. And I was like, right, grand, it's all right. It paid the bills, and they gave me a company van, so I thought I was top dog, driving around in a brand new van. The youngest fella on the team with a brand new van, and I used to be slating, giving all the lads grief. And it was good crack. It was good crack for. I done about, what did I do there? Jesus, it was, yeah, 2.5 years in there as well. So I was just like, yeah, I think I'm ready to go. And then Aaron was like, we were applying for a mortgage, and Aaron was like, what you mean you're ready to go? Like, we're waiting on the mortgage. Like, what you mean? And I was just like, nah, this is not for me. I'm gonna crack up in this place. I was like, I can't keep looking at Magnolia and white and oil-based white satinwood. Like, I was just going off my head. But at that stage, I had got my name out between the kitchen company, any of the fitters, the carpenters. I was taking numbers. Every single fella who would talk back to me, I was taking a phone number.
Brilliant.
I'd be like, you'll need me, blah, blah, blah. I'd sell myself. I didn't have, any piece of paper, I used to they used to be like, "Did you go to college?" Yeah, I have an arts degree. Yeah, yeah, it's just not in painting, you know. So it's just like I'm a teacher, but I can paint. And then they just be kind of like, "All right, yeah, yeah, this fella's off his head." But I just constantly was kind of like, "You'll need me number, you know. I'll grab your number off you, and if you ever need anything, you know, if you're putting in wardrobes or anything, I can spray them, I can paint them, do wallpapering as well." It used to be like a walking advertisement for myself,
Yeah.
and then I started getting a few Nixers then that were kind of coming in with big price tags, and I was kind of going, "Oh shit, you know, these are nice jobs. I'm turning away." Um, this woman had promised me this, and I was kind of like, "Yeah, she won't come back." Blah blah blah. I done a bedroom, done a bedroom. All of a sudden, she had put an extension and an attic conversion on at the same time, and I was like, "Oh, like that's weeks on end." And she was like, "Oh, can you not do it? Like I was gonna give you the work because you're Mandy's son," and I was like, "Yeah, no, I want to do it." It's just like, what, you know, I'm kind of tired. Like I'm Monday to Friday with this company, so I just went for it. I was like, I'd get up at 5, I'd be on site for half 6, 7, leaving there 2, half 3 o'clock, out the door straight to the Nixer, there till half 8, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, as long as they would let me stay in the house. And I'd done that while I was with that maintenance company all the way through. And I used to be coming in and I was bombshelled. Like Richie, my old manager, he used to be just like, "Will you like just go for an hour's kip or something? Just don't get caught. Clean yourself up. You know, if you're in one of the apartments, have a shower or something, but lock the door. Don't let one of the." I was just like, I just went for it, and Aaron, I didn't see Aaron. Like we just were like two ships crossing. It was just like I was just loving it. I was eating it up. My phone just didn't stop hopping. It was like, yeah, it was just mental. It was just mental. Um, and it was just like I was the Nixer king in the job. The lads would all be like, "I have a Nixer for you." I'd be like, "Yeah, yeah, 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 grand. When do you want it done?" And they'd be like, "Oh, it's such and such down in Wexford." I'd be like, "Well, grand. I'll stay in me ma's. Can you get the job to send me to Wexford for the week? I'll go paint such and such apartment." And Richie be like, "Yeah, grand, cool." And I was doing his Nixers in the evenings. He was doing my Nixers in the evenings, and it just worked like peach. It was perfect. And then I was just kind of like, I'm gonna die here. It's like I was gonna die. I had all this cash, and I was just like, I can't buy a house with it. Can't do anything with it. What am I gonna do? Erin was starting to get a bit pissed because she was like, I don't see it. What? You know what I mean? Like, what's the story here? And that was grand. I was just kind of like, right, I'm gonna have to give this up and do my own jobs. And then Erin was like, but the mortgage. I was like, I know, but like. But these jobs are like, you know, these jobs are coming in thick and fast. So, oh, it's just like, I want it, I want it. So then my dad was just like, right, well, what do you need to do it? And I was like, oh, I need a van because my Fiesta's dying. I said, like, it was cost me so much on diesel because I had ladders in the back of the Fiesta. I had buckets of paint for work in the morning, Monday to
Yeah.
Friday, mixers in the evening. The poor little Fiesta was just gonna die in front of me. So I was like, I need to get a van. So he was like, right, you get a van. What else do you need? I was like, well, I want sprayers and sanders. And he goes, now hold on, like, what do you use nowadays? And I was like, well, I use my pole sander. He's like, great, grand, you can use that. Buy your van, and that's it. And then get going. And I was like, right, okay, grand. Yeah, I was a bit
Yeah.
kind of like, that's not what I want. Like I wanted all. I wanted all of it. But he was like, you have the shed at home in Wicklow. You can fill it up over the years, and you can use it as your storage, and you'll be grand. You know. So he gave me. I had a drill. He gave me a second, an impactor, and then I got a couple of kitchen jobs off that crowd, and I was just like, right, I'm out of here. Handed in me notice, and
But what
oh,
about the
the relief.
mortgage? But what about the mortgage?
Oh, yeah, still looking for it. I'm still looking for it. Yeah, I'm still looking for it. So, yeah, yeah, we're still saving and
Oh, you there? You still there? I've lost you there. Just lost him temporarily. Yeah. So no volume. I can't hear you. Maybe if you exit and re-enter. Oh,
What
there you
about
are
now?
now. That's you
Yeah,
now.
happy
What
days.
happened?
I nearly ran out of diesel. No, I'm only you're through the speakers. You're on
Oh,
the
brilliant.
speakers. Half the road is listening. They don't know who I am.
Oh, brilliant. But listen, what I want to
No.
ask you is, so what's the true cost of going out on your own? I mean, I think anyone, as you just said there, you want to go out on your own and think, right, I need a fan, I need, I need dustless sanders, I need sprayers, I need, like, I mean, it's a lot of dough. So what did you do? What was your approach?
Um. So we were waiting to hear back what money the mortgage fella was going to give us, and I was like, he came back with some 200 grand or something, 200 and something grand, and I was like, what? Like, what am I going to buy with that? No. So he was like, no, you're not going to buy anything in Leinster with that. So I was like to Aaron, I have all this cash. Will I just buy the van? So that was me then. Right, I'm going to buy the van. So bought the van outright. Went to a garage, took for a test drive. Went into the bank, was like, I want to take out this money, and they were kind of like, okay, yeah, grand. You're looking for a mortgage, but now you're going to buy a van. I was like, yeah, gonna cancel that application form. Cancel that. We're not gonna go for a mortgage. Things have changed. So I took out fucking 25 grand, bought the van, was just like, fuck it, go for it, I'm doing it. So dad was like, just make sure you get something reliable with a warranty, have some
Yeah,
cover, nice warranty on it. So I paid your man an extra few quid. He gave me a 2 year warranty, and then he signed me up for some other crowd to look after it then. So it goes in for the service and the whole lot for the first 3 years. And I was like, cool, grand, happy days. So that was kind of like out of my hair then. So
yeah,
then I was like, right, I am down 25 grand. I need to get this back as soon as possible. And then I was just like, right, jobs, right, ringing. So then, next all of a sudden, then it was like, oh yeah, Knicks are king. Fucking, I'll get Adam in. And I was like, yeah, booked out the door. Absolutely booked out the door. Room after room, bedroom, garden gates, small little jobs. Knicks was that I was always doing, you know. And I was like, this isn't gonna pay money. This isn't gonna pay the bills. You know, this is like, I was getting me week's wage plus me extra cash, so like this is not gonna cut the mustard. So
yeah,
that was kind of I had a bit of kind of still going through it. Still have people that are ringing me back now that I've been doing Nixers for the last 10 years, 9 years, and they're like, "Oh yeah, will you do me sitting room on Sunday? I've such and such coming, and they're staying Wednesday to Friday." And I'm like, no. Like I'm out by myself now, and I have a booking list, and people still know me as Adam will get in on the weekend, and he'll do that for us. And it's like I'm not as cheap as I used to be. I'm like,
yeah,
I have bills now. I'm paying my diesel. I'm paying my tolls. I'm paying my tax, my VAT. I was like, and I was kind of going, right, do I go tax? Do I just go tax? Do I go VAT registered? What do I do? So same time, Sean and the paint fam obviously had kicked off, and I was just like, I'll start shooting a few questions to the lads. Best thing I ever done. Like, I'm hopping off that group chat. You'll see it every day. I'm in it. I must annoy every single person in the group chat because all I do is text into it like as if it's a bunch of lads that I go to school with. You know what I mean? It's just, I think it's just grand. You know what I mean? It's just
but
deadly to
that's
have
the
it.
way. But that's the way it should be. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
some don't catch them, but somebody does see them, and somebody will always answer you at some point. You're not, I think that's the
exactly.
nice thing about it. It's the same with the academy group and things. It's like, well, someone will get you an answer,
Yeah,
but at
yeah,
least at least you're able to ask, and it's the same in the paint fam. I remember you asking questions. I've asked everyone ask questions, and I think it's being part of something where you don't feel like you can't ask. You know?
yeah, defo. Like I think if you're not asking questions, like there's something up because
Yeah,
either you're not challenging yourself or you're not trying to better yourself. Do you know that sort of
hundred
way?
percent.
Like even if I know, right, I'm gonna use Aquaguard on that, I'm gonna shoot it into the text, into the group chat, and go, what am I gonna use on these windows, lads? And they'll give me 3 different products, and I'll go, right, I'm gonna try that one out the next time, see how I get on with it, see if I like
Yeah.
it. So if I'm stuck in Dublin, or I'm on a job, and the shop down the road only has such and such, I know that's a grand product. I'll grab it. Do you know what I mean? I love how you can adapt things like that. Do you know what I mean? This
Yeah.
doesn't go with that. That primer goes with this. Um, I was always doing that. Even when I was with Dave, Dave was like, right, we've got to do this primer, this undercoat, this top coat. And I'd be like, can we not use that stuff? I want to try that stuff out. And he'd be like, no, 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 that's for the other room. And I'd be like, no, let's mix it up. Just constantly experimenting with it and
Yeah.
seeing what worked. I love that. I love trying shit out. um, but that's the group helps me out a lot. Like, I was seeing the lads online and the forums, and they were, get yourself a Merca system, get yourself a Festool, this, that, and the other. I had a couple of DeWalt batteries, and my dad was just like, "There's a DeWalt sander online, grab it, 180 quid." So I had a palm sander that I got out through the kitchen company. They had bought that for me, so I was like, right, deadly, have a little palm sander. So I was going around sanding walls with that, and my hands were getting achy every single day. I was just like sanding a whole gaff out with this little bag on the back, and I was just like, oh, here. So I bought a little DeWalt Hoover to go with it. 2 batteries in the back, away I go. And then another guy got onto me, and he was like, get onto a lad, Lee Rest, fella in England. He'll get you sandpapers. He's brilliant. So I'm ringing this fella in England, don't know who he is. Yeah, can I get sandpaper sent over to me? Blah, 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 blah. Send in an order. And he was just like, yeah. Next minute it landed. Away I was with my little sanding system. I thought it was deadly. I thought it was brilliant. And it cost me about 300 quid all in. I was just
Yeah.
like, right, this will do the job. So I was like, I don't need the sand and Hoover. I don't need this dustless system. Blah blah blah. I was kind of like, I didn't have it for when I was doing my time with Dave. I didn't use one. I didn't need it. It's
No.
just an extra. It's an extra bit of weight in the van, like, you know.
Yeah.
So then I was just like, it was only a couple of weeks ago. Someone had asked me, and they were like, "Oh, do you use dustless system?" And I was like, "Oh, well, I have this, and I hook it up to my Hoover, and I'll tape off, mask the room." And I thought, and she had just seen it on Facebook, and I was kind of like, "Is she asking for that service, or am I after leaving dust in a bedroom?" And I was kind of paro. I was like, "Oh shit, like, do I need to get it? Do I look unprofessional? The whole lot." And then I was having my lunch, I was talking to her out in the front garden, and I walked back inside, and the whole place was just a coat of white dust. And I was just like, oh shit. I was just like, oh
Oh,
shit. So my Hoover had detached, which was on top of the stairs, and my sander was just going. I had the earphones in, and I was just going for it, and the dust was just
oh.
constantly. I was just like, oh shit. So then I hoovered all day long, cleaned everything down, lost about a day of cleaning, cleaned the place out, and then I was just like, yo, one rang me, the accountant. I got an accountant because I was like, hadn't a clue what I was doing. So one of the lads was just like, get yourself a good accountant. And I was like, right, grand. So a bricklayer I knew, he was like, I use this girl, she's perfect. She's like, she gets me everything I need, everything's on time, there's no messing with her. Once you don't mess with her, she doesn't mess with you. There's the price. And I was like, right, done, dusted. And she was like to me, if you go VAT registered, that van, I can get you the VAT back. I was like, oh yeah, can you? Didn't believe her a word. Didn't believe this at all. I was like, nice one. So then she was like, right, there's gonna be 5 grand in your account next week for the VAT. I was like, deadly. So that was the Merca system bought. And I was just like, right, I'm gonna invest it back into the business, and then can just keep topping it up. Do you know that sort of way? Just keep topping up the bank. I don't need to buy it with my money. I just keep it going that way. So that's when I was kind of like, right, this VAT. I was kind of like, oh yeah, Grattan VAT registered. I was like, but my prices are such and such for a bedroom. And then I was like, right, but now I have to add the VAT to it.
Yeah.
And then if they want the receipt, and then I'm kind of going, right, how do I explain that to them? And I'd done the pricing with Dave, but I had never took into account that, you know, what his diesel costs were, what his paint costs were, what I was being charged out, the schematics of it. I never fully took it in, never ever. Sure, it went straight over my head. So then it was just like, oh right, okay, right. What should I be charging? What I'm charging too little, or I'm charging too much for this, and I'm not accounting for the time I have to get there, the time I have to go pick up the paint, stuff like that. That was big. That was one of the biggest things that I never thought of when I was sitting in Thailand thinking about this great plan. You
Yeah.
know, I never thought about me pricing at all. Never thought. I thought, grand, I'm gonna stay the same. I've got good pricing because it was what I knew from Wicklow. But I was doing these prices in Mead. People thought, grand, get him in. He's nice and cheap and he's still good. And I was like, yeah, I'm busy. I'm great. I'm busy. Blah blah blah. But I was just a busy fool, you know. So I wasn't actually. I was making a day rate, and I wasn't making profit at all.
Yeah,
You know,
I
I
think
was.
that we've all been there, Adam. It's like you go out on your own and you may be making 120, 150 a day. You thought you were great and amazing money. And then you think, right, I'll go out on my own, and if I can get that, I'm flying. But you don't realize that, well, now
Yeah,
you've every single expense and cost to now
yeah.
take out of that 150 a day. And then you
Oh,
realize, shit, and then, like you say, there's no profit and there's no oxygen for the business. So you can't reinvest. You can't do courses. You can't, upgrade things. There's nothing
yeah.
there. There's no margin. So, um, we've all been there. But if you can, as I say, if you're only out 6 months and you're already there and you're already sharpening the pencil and moving forward. I mean, what changed? How did you suddenly realize, right, well, hold on, I'm working a cost here? What was the big change? Were you scared then to implement all these additional costs, the VAT, the, you know, their true costs, I suppose? What way did that work for you? How did you navigate that?
Um, it was kind of a bit of talking to me mom then, because mom was kind of like, I wanted to keep it to myself. I wanted to be like, I can do this. I'm with Dave years. I went to the kitchen company. I have the experience. La la la. Ego's getting big. I'm out by myself the whole lot. And a woman text. I had said to a woman, oh, it's 280 for the day, and I was there for a couple of days. It built up. It was a price tag of about 3 grand, and I was like, right, grand. That's with the she got the paint, and I got one primer and this, that, and the other. And I was like, oh, fuck, I never put in for the VAT. So I went into my bank account, and I was kind of going, fuck, I'm after taking a hit already before I even never even thought about the VAT. Never even thought about it. Didn't even think about the tax. Didn't think about. I was just like, right, sure, 280. That's a good day rate. I'm gonna be using these products. House isn't too bad. Blah blah blah. And then I was talking to mom, and I was like to mom, like that should have been 320, or that should have been, yeah. And she was kind of going, well, do it, do it now before you're 2 3 years in, and everyone knows painting and decorating, and they go, he was 280, he was you were only 280 years ago. How come all of a sudden your prices are gone up? And I was kind of like, well, like, I have to explain that then, ma. And she was like, but it's no different than when I got my bathroom done and he was telling me, this is the breakdown, that's the VAT,
That's right.
this is how it's gonna work. So I was kind of like, oh yeah, you're right, ma. Yeah, you're right. And then you're going in to buy a tire for the van, and it's right, it's this price plus the VAT, and you're kind of going, they don't even flinch. They don't even flinch when they say plus the VAT, and you're kind of going, oh okay, what's that make it out to be? It's an extra couple of quid. So now I was just kind of like, right, I have to do it because you know, I want a house one day, I want a family one day, and you know, it's only fair that I'm taking the fair whack. So it was two jobs getting landed into the account that I was kind of going, fuck, I'm gonna get hit on the VAT now at the end of the month. I was like, yeah, that has to change. So then it was
Yeah.
like big time. That was yeah,
You
yeah.
learn quick, so you
Oh,
do. But
very quick,
see, the
very
thing
quick.
for
Yeah,
me was I was always scared. Like I started paintworks when I was 26. After a year, I had to go VAT registered, because we went over the threshold, And then
Yeah.
again, I hadn't a clue. I didn't know what was going on. And I
Same.
was like, well, no one's gonna pay that, but actually, what it did do was it attracted better opportunities because companies, anyone with a business wants to use somebody who's also VAT registered because it's a win-win.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, so that so therefore you can get a better client, not a better clientele. I don't mean it like that. You can get better opportunities, so it's a win-win for everybody. But it just have your pots. It's not your money. It's very easy to bill somebody, take the VAT and just put it all in as a lump sum in your bank account and think
Yeah.
it's yours to spend and it's yours to help cash flow the business. Whereas that's exactly what I did. I used whatever the hell I could get to make it all work at the time. But
Yeah.
what I'm trying to get to is then early days right away, Danielle was like, gee, what the hell are you doing? This is before Danielle come on board and then it was pots, that's the VAT pot. This is the bills
Yeah.
pot. But this is the, our money pot, and we don't
Yeah.
touch the other. Therefore, when it comes to the end of the year or the VAT bill, it's every quarter, I think. I don't do it. Danielle does it all, and it's there. It's there, and you don't worry about it. And you
Yeah.
get there's always time to stop and say, right, shit needs to change. Problem is, but when you're in the thick of it and you do get yourself into diffs, that's exactly what you do, and you're robbing Peter to pay Paul. So it's either
Yeah.
you stop and say, right, you have to start again. You have to either up our prices and start putting towards the rainy day fund and the emergency fund and start building again. Just because something's the way it is, Adam, is what I mean. Doesn't mean you have to continue going that direction. So you,
Yeah.
you make a choice, you get your big boy pants on, and you make the changes that you need to make to build a better business. You know?
I know it was the big thing when, as soon as I was like VAT registered, I was like, there was no more haggling with people. There was no
No.
more like I was constantly like, oh, what do you mean like 800 quid is too dear? Like I'm gonna be here for 4 days. You know what I mean? And I'm throwing in the tin of satinwood for that. And they were kind of looking at me going, you know, that was my selling point. I used to be like, I'll throw the paint. The ceiling paint is already in on that price. You know what I mean? You're saving on a bucket of ceiling paint, and they'd be kind of
Excellent.
going, "Oh right, okay, okay, okay." That was like, I still do that, right? I'm not gonna, I still do that, but uh, I was always
uh,
like, then all of a sudden it was like, no, no, that's a bit higher than what we thought. We're not gonna go with you this time, Grant. You have an answer. You know what I mean? All of a sudden it's a level of professionalism that you skip the people that are just looking for the cheapest option. Do you know the sort of way? The people that are just like, oh, I want the room painted, but do you want the room decorated or do you want the room painted? Do you know the sort of way? I think there's a slight difference. There's like people, a lot of people, some people don't even know how much it's supposed to cost. They're just ringing you up to see. Oh Jesus, like, give us a ballpark figure. Anyway, but once I put like an invoice little template together, and then I had the VAT in the bottom, and I had this is going to be the amount of products used, this is the products amount, blah blah blah. My percentage of jobs that I was landing just went straight up, straight up. There was no more back and forward. Oh, but what happens if we take this room off? What happens if we get the paint? That just it literally cut it out, which I didn't even expect. The sort of way. I was expecting the opposite. I thought I was going to start losing a lot more work, um, big time. I was really, really afraid of putting up the prices with the VAT. And then especially putting it up because of the extra things that I never accounted for, diesels and you know
but
paintbrushes.
the it took me what 2017, I think it was. So I'd been out my own since 2013, so 4 years to actually
Jesus.
properly work out what the hell I was doing. I think it was 4 years that I actually worked out my operating cost per day to get in the van and go to work. And
Jesus.
I just what I mean by that is I used to just think there's the price I'll be that much. That'll do. Um, Thinking I was charging great money, but actually, when you worked it out, I was charging less or breaking even with my operating costs per day. So whenever you know the operating your cost to go to work, say that's X, say just for argument's sake, that's £100 to go to work just to keep the lights on, and somebody you're charging 200, and somebody asks you to work for 120, or can you come down and meet wee Jimmy who's been in before you but really want you to do the work, but we've heard about you sound amazing, but can you match
Yeah,
his
yeah,
price at 120? When you know exactly what you need, it's very easy to say no, I
yeah.
cannot, and thank you for getting in touch and appreciate the opportunity to price for you, but I'm not your painter. And if you ever do want to reconsider, give us a call. I'd be more than happy to price the work and do the work. And that's it.
Mm,
And that took me 4 years to get to that point, to realize, and then things change very quickly, very quickly. But it's you're not a commodity, and you're not somebody that's you can't haggle
yeah,
when you know what you need, and it's very difficult too, Adam, because see, whenever you start at a price, see, whenever you start working for a set amount of money, and people start telling their friends and everybody, even though you've underpriced yourself, it's very hard, because when you do go out to their job and you go, yeah, it's 300 a day, or in your head and your price, and they go, Jesus, you done we Sally's house down the road for X amount, and you're a robbing piece of shit. But actually, they don't
yeah,
realize you done her house for free because you didn't make any money on it.
yeah,
And that's
yeah,
the big
yeah,
lessons, which we've all been there.
yeah,
We all go through that. It's whether or not you're gonna learn from the lesson, and you're gonna say that shit can't happen again. I'm here to make as much money as I possibly can. It's the same old every single day. I was talking about in the course today. You have a set amount of chips on your table and you go in a casino, and you hand over those chips. You don't get them back necessarily.
no,
And
no,
how much are those chips worth to you every day? Are you selling yourself, like, what's the cost of going to work? Do you want to thrive, or do you want to survive? Or and that's the biggest thing, is just knowing the value of your worth, knowing the value of what you need. And there's a lot of posts and stuff running about at the minute, people running, talking about, charge X, charge this, charge that. It means nothing. It means nothing until you establish exactly what you need to charge to A, cover your operating costs, and B, earn what you need to cover all your bills, your living, and your margin, your money on top of that. So once you get there and you figure that all out, you're flying.
yeah,
But the difficulty is, and I admit this, and I have spoke about it before, I was so busy and so wrapped up on my own bullshit, and made so many excuses and flat out, oh, I don't know why I'm not making any money. I hadn't taken the fucking time to actually work out why, and
yeah, yeah,
didn't take ownership of my own life and my own business. I was running about like Billy Big Balls, thinking I was great, when actually I wasn't. I was a
yeah,
clown. And whenever you get that clarity, love that word. Whenever you get that clarity, and you're able to, but you walk about Adam with different. There's a different vibe, because you know what you need. You know what you need. I'm this guy. This is
yeah,
what I need. And
yeah,
when you're doing great work, and you hold yourself to a standard that you don't break, and you show up every day. When you show up every day, you do great work, you do as you say, and you honor it, and you leave those customers happy, and you get paid. There's no better advertising. It's that simple.
no,
And they spread that word faster, and they know what you need. And there's not one customer has ever come out and said to me, do you know what, Jared? You're a robbing bastard, and you charge
yeah,
so much money, and your work is just so good, or it's never happened, because they see the amount of work that goes into it. They see the dedication. They see, I want it to be the best. the best. Like it's me that goes right. I'm going to offer out a couple of suggestions. What if we do this? What if we do that? How about we
Mm,
spray the staircase instead of just hand paint? You give a shit because you do.
yeah,
As
yeah,
painters and decorators, we're the finishers. We're the guys that want to make your home look fucking awesome. So
yeah, yeah,
and people get that vibe, and people always sense that. And I think when it's all said and done, you're going with a painter that's maybe £100 a day more expensive, and you see their workmanship and see how they treat your house, or they see X, and they're punctual, and they update you every day, and they leave your house immaculate, and they take pride. They're worth their weight in gold. They really are, and
yeah,
there's shitloads of them out there. But unfortunately, there's others that don't care, that are leaving bad standards. And it's like everything else. You always test the water. It's like a customer of mine years ago, I'll never forget him, Alan Curry. He got me to spray a fireplace in his house, and I sprayed the fireplace. I ended up over. He's been one of my amazing customers since 2015, and so the first house we did, we sprayed the entire house inside and out, every room, the kitchen, the woodwork, staircase, and we just did his brand new property there last year as well. When you
perfect.
leave your customers going, I don't want to use anybody else. That's it. That's my painter. The relationship's built, and you'll never
Yeah,
lose money. It's the best. It's the
yeah.
best investment you'll ever make is leaving a good job. Just went
I've
off on a
noticed that.
tangent there.
No, I've noticed it big time because like a lot of when I was first starting out, a lot of mom's friends were my kind of customers. Do you know what I mean? So it was like, oh, I gave your Adam 600 quid last week, blah blah blah, and I was like, I have to get away from that. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But now, now then people know that oh, this is Adam's business. You know what I mean? This is Adam's business. He's in it to make money. He's professional. He's a great painter, but your man, the guy I'm working for today, he was like to me, oh, you don't mind if I recommend you? I was like, yeah, no problem. He's like, do you do Google reviews? I was like, no. I said, no, I haven't pushed that side of the business yet. I said, really haven't pushed much of it. I haven't pushed advertising because I don't want to be every single fella ringing me, ringing me, ringing me. Do you know what I mean? I don't want that because one, I don't have enough time to be going around to everything. I said, and two, I want word of mouth first for the next while. Let that build. And he was like, yeah, well, that's how I got you. I got you through word of mouth. And I was like, yeah, thanks, blah blah blah. And he was gonna pass me on already. I'm only there 3 days, and he's passing my number on to another girl. And a lot of the customers are word of mouth. The odd you might get one off Instagram in a blue moon. One of the lads might tag me in something and he can't get to the job. He'll shoot me the text and say such and such is looking for a job. Can you fit it in? And I'll go, yeah, yeah, I'll try to do it. And that'll be about it. But like even the van's not logoed yet. Stuff like that I have to kind of get around to. And even workwear, because I was still, what logo do I want? What image do I want? And then, like that, as you said, I just got into the thick of it, of rolling. The jobs
Yeah.
just kept rolling, and the wages are coming in, and that was great. And then all of a sudden, I was kind of going, right. The accountant was like, right, VAT, I need your VAT. What's the story? Sales, purchases, and I was like,
Oh shit.
yeah. Yeah, I think it's here. It's in the folder. I have a big
uh,
black folder and it has 10 little columns in it, and I just invoice or everything's into each month, and that goes 6 months at a time, and then I just take them all out and they go into the big drawer upstairs. And she was just like to me, right, we're gonna change it. I have you on WhatsApp. So she set up this WhatsApp group. It was a brilliant idea. Set up a little WhatsApp between me and her sidekick, little accountant. And the minute I get into the van with a receipt, bam, snapshot, straight over to her. And she just constantly keeps them on the file. And then at the end of the month, all I need to send her then is the sales, just the sales amount, what cash
Brilliant.
came in, and what bank. So I just screenshot there and then, and I just put it straight into the door, into the folder. Don't have to think twice about it. And she's not ringing me the last 2 days of the month going, I need all them info, I need all of it, you know, and I'm kind of going, I'm on a job, I'm working late tonight, la la la. So that was her idea, which was brilliant. I straight away from the get go was like, right, I'm gonna get into the routine. So I got the folder straight away into the van. I was like, because my side door was just full of them, diesel receipts, paint receipts, you name it. And I was kind of going, yeah, right. She's after asking me how much is it for that Pharaoh ball. I go and I run out to the van trying to find the receipt in the pitch black, and you're like, oh, here, like, you know. So the folders were huge, and that was the accountant's idea. That was just brilliant. Simple, but yeah, very very effective. The minute before I even turn on the engine now, it's just automatic. Did I get a receipt there? You know, get that receipt over to her, bang, and then it's out of my hair. But yeah, that's me
It's the
going on a tangent again.
sooner you can go from a painter to a businessman, the better. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
and it's
yeah.
just
It's
the
smooth sailing.
simple things. Just the simple things is making that time and being organized, and that's one of the biggest pieces of advice I give anybody, you know, starting out on their own is get the business side locked down, and it's just habits, the receipts, habits, you know,
Yeah,
where's your money going, habit, where's it not going? It's you know, you don't, you know, you got to
yeah,
make sure you know your the ins and outs, all the wee things, because all those wee things add up to a lot of money at the end of the month being either wasted or not accounted for. But where is most of your work coming from then? Word of mouth, new customers, any, do you advertise at all? Did you say no?
yeah.
Um,
At the minute, Instagram. I'm trying to push Instagram. I'm shocking. Like I have about 2.5 years of footage edited, before and afters, photos, time lapses that I could post, but it's just it does. I'm not great at it. It does me head in.
yeah.
I could do a
S-
video over a week, and then I'm like, right, grand, I got 30 likes on that. Delighted. Then I kind of was like, I don't really care if I don't get any likes, but I want to get it up there. So Sean had said to me, just start doing some videos, just start doing some stories. You know,
Yeah.
just start doing, just what are you doing today? What paint are you using? Show us
Yeah.
what you're doing. And I'll just go, yeah, I'm going to paint that wall, this wall, this wall. Right, I'll do a quick little video. Done. It's finished. I don't have to think twice about it. I don't have to
Yeah.
go home and go, I have to edit that to meet this, to meet that. So I
Yeah.
was kind of like, I'm going to try push the Instagram a bit. Um, Advertising word of mouth. And then I had a couple of carpenters. I kind of have just 3 or 4 carpenters there that I'm good mates with, and they kind of, one lad does dormers, one guy does extensions, the other guy does kitchens, and the other fella does paneling, and they all kind of have their own niche,
Yeah.
and pretty much it's just bounce between them. They pass my number on, I pass their number on. You know, um, I think if you get on well with other trades, that's a huge thing.
Oh,
You
you
know,
have to.
uh, I think it's huge. Like, you know, Brian, the guy who I've been doing the last 2 jobs for, like, I done a job for Brian ages ago, and it was for cash. He didn't know my standard. I didn't know him. The whole lot. Quick little in and out job. Painted 3 little units, and I went in and I was kind of going, "Wow, yeah, this is decent," you know, and painted it up, and it could have been sanded. You know, it could have been a little bit better. This, that, and the other. I went into the job 2 weeks ago to start. Oh my God, filling perfection, caulking done. Sent me a text. Had a spare hour. Done the caulking for you. They're already pre-primed. Crack on. Like, it was just, I was kind of going, oh yeah, yeah, get in there. You know, he's after cheering me right up. I really want to go into work now. You know what I mean? I like, it's that
Yeah.
little extra that Brian done there. I was just like savage. The other guy doing the paneling, not a beat of caulk anywhere. I was kind of going, seriously, you know what I mean, Martin? Where's your caulk? You know, and it's, you know, the banter obviously as well. You know, the band, you have to get on with lads. You can't be going in like a
Of
grumpy
course it do. Of course
and
it do.
where's your caulk? You know, where's your caulk? What's the story? Like, a lot of them lads kind of work in around Mead, which is good. A lot of people here, there's loads of new housing estates, stuff like that, but they're kind of going to houses that are like well established, you know, have had trades in before, where you want to be, kind of, because, you know, people that are buying their home for the first time, they want to get in and just see different colors, you know, and
Yeah.
they're smashed. Do you know what I mean? They're after putting all their eggs in a basket and they're smashed, you know. they're not looking for the wallpaper or the feature wall. They're just looking for a nice color all the way through so they can get their furniture in. So I haven't got much of them because I'm kind of staying away from them. Do you know the sort of way?
Yeah.
Um, I like going in and doing a bedroom for a week as opposed to going in and doing two bedrooms, flashing them out. So I'm kind of the lads kind of know that as well. So that the three or four guys there, they kind of like get me in after them, and they kind of like, this is my painter, and he's my carpenter. So it's kind of, it works that way. A couple of bathroom guys there, they get me in just to do the odd ceiling, stuff like that. It's all tiled. Come in, plastic wrap everything for me, Adam, no problem. He'll put down the floor protection on the tiles. I'll come in, whack the ceiling out, and everyone's happy.
Brilliant.
Um, that's I kind of, I love working along with the trades because you can go off your head. You can go bored shitless.
Yeah.
The two people there today in the house, they're both working from home. They don't have time to talk to me. I'm looking to paint the wall and talk to them. So it's like, like you're kind of like, I have the AirPod in one ear and then I have the radio going in the other one, and they're probably cracking up thinking, when is he going to be finished? The sander's on and off, but I'm just looking for a chat, sort of way. But any of the boys will just give you a bell and be like, "Oh yeah, I'm after fitting wardrobes there. They don't need them painted," and I'm like, "All right, grand. What you ring me for?" I just said I'd give you a ring, and I'm just like, "All right, go on. What are you getting up to tonight?" And he'll be going for a sauna, whatever. Like, it's not always even work with the three carpenter guys. It's just like
No.
they'll just be buzzing and belling off you. It's good. So but yeah, I think, yeah, it's been interesting. It's been 6 months. It's been interesting. It's learned an awful lot very quickly.
What's been your biggest pain point, Adam? What's been the biggest thing that's, I suppose, yeah, what's been the hardest part of it all? Has it been a job? Has it been money? Has it been pricing? Has it been a customer? What's been the most difficult thing you've come up against in the last 6 months?
Um, the two things. There's two big things.
Yeah.
I got stung on one job. And the lady, she paid me for three-quarters of the job and left me short. And I was like, okay, what's the issue? Blah blah blah. And I'd been talking to you about this, and I'd said, I sent the text message, blah blah blah. Everything was done according as we had planned, blah blah blah. And I was down money, and it got in my head. It was like, it really pissed me off. I was sitting in Spain, and we had gone away, booked the holiday, and I'm sitting there, and I'm going, where's the money? Where's the money? Where's the money? So she sends three-quarters of it. I'm kind of going, it's 600 quid short. What's the story? Where's the other 600 quid? And then she sent me 200 quid. And I was kind of going, oh, I'll get the 400. I'll get the other 400 when I'm back. So that was grand. Got back, dropped her back her house keys, her spare house key. All done, blah, blah, blah. Not any snags. No snags, no. And I'm kind of going, grand, can you send the last 400 quid? No, not quite happy with the finish of the walls. So that was a kick.
Yeah.
I said to myself, I kind of learned quick enough. I didn't have terms and conditions. I didn't take deposit. So straight away, literally, I
She knew that.
rang.
She knew
Yeah,
that.
she knew what she was doing, but I was also going in like a rabbit, blinded
Yeah.
by the lights, thinking,
Yeah.
making a few quid, happy days. I'm going to my holidays next week. She's going to give it to me. She's good for it. She was actually a friend. I went to school with a guy, and it was his mother-in-law, and I thought there's nothing going to go wrong here. Nothing. I know him years.
It's
But
always that ones.
yeah, it's business and money and all that. But that was a big one. So straight away, I was on to the lads at the paint farm. Lads, what's your terms and conditions? What do you send? What way do you take deposits? And I left it so that I had about a month and a half of jobs in, and I said to myself, anything that was over, say, 2 grand, I was getting a deposit straight away. I was texting them, going, listen, I'm after getting stung. My new thing is I'm taking 30% deposit. If
Good
this is
man.
not okay, no problem, blah, blah, blah. And straight away, the people were kind of going, well, I'm not waiting any longer than I have to. So, yeah, there's 30% done. See it on this date. If you can move me forward, move me forward. So I
Good
was
man.
like, right, people are actually expecting a deposit.
Yeah.
So then I kind of started getting confident asking for a deposit. Do you know the sort of way? I was kind of like, well, if I don't ask for one, do I look less professional? Do you know the sort of way?
I would say
So now I
so,
kind
yeah.
of, I was starting to go like, it's more of a booking fee to cover your paint costs and to make sure you're slotted in the diary 100%. And then they're going, yeah, no problem, done. It's sent. So I was kind of going, right, that kind of, I forgot about her. Money was gone, and it kind of solved the problem towards the future. I was hoping, you know.
Well, you got to look at
So
it this way, as I always, it was a £400 lesson,
yeah, yeah,
and
big time.
yes, it's more emotional because you don't like being done over like
Stum.
that, but at the same time,
Yeah,
it could have been 15 grand.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
And then what
yeah,
have you saved yourself in future, Adam? Future AH painting, you've saved yourself fortune down to a £400 lesson. So it's just like a wee apprenticeship, a wee course, 400 quid
yeah,
to learn.
exactly.
You need terms and conditions, and you need to take deposits. That's an easy way of looking at it. And I always think everything I've been through, it's happened for a reason, and I'm grateful for it, and I wouldn't change it. So, um, that's good to hear, man. It's good to hear that
Yeah.
you suddenly sent all out those terms and conditions, and all your customers said, "No, get it. Let's get it done. Let's go."
Yeah, there was no panic with any of them. Like there was no issues whatsoever. I was waiting for a bit of kickback, and they were all kind of going, "Oh yeah, that makes sense. That's no problem. These are the colors," and they had the colors ready for me, and it made life even easier. You know, you weren't going ringing on a Friday. I'm gonna get your colors tomorrow, Saturday morning. Do you have your colors ready? You know, all of that is kind of out of the way. It's sorted. The planning is getting better. Stuff like that. The other thing I was struggling with big time was, I'll work all day and night. I'll work until the
Yeah,
job is done,
yeah,
and it was getting to prices, trying to organize when I'm going to get to prices and who I'm going to get to, and do I go by, right, this woman has rang me on Monday, do I have to see her first, or do I have to, I'm after getting, like, there'll be some days I won't get a call all week, and then Saturday I'll get 3 text messages, Sunday morning I'll get 2 phone calls, and then I'm kind of going, oh shit, where am I supposed to go Monday evening? And I'll go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday evening, going to different prices, leaving the job at 4:30 when I should just go, right. Friday, I'm going to finish at 2 o'clock, go do 3 of them. Saturday, I'm going to do 2 or 3 prices, and then I'm off for the day. I'm taking a chiller, you know.
yeah.
But
Sorry to interrupt, but do you think about do you want every one of them jobs?
that was the other thing for last I'd say the last, I wouldn't, yeah, I'd say
Just
four
because
months for
somebody rings and emails and messages, this is something I never did. Stop and go, right, hold on. They've, I don't actually want that job. It isn't,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
not something I want to do. If you're in that, like if you're booked up, and you've got a couple of, months work, etc., then first thing I'll do is go, right, which is the one out of the 5 jobs I really would like, right? That's first. Second of all, there's 2 jobs that I just don't want. I just, that's not me. I don't do that, or it doesn't interest me. And then I'll say, right, if you want, send me photos or a video across on WhatsApp. I'll give you the fastest way you're gonna get me to give you a price, because that's what people want. They just want a figure so they
yeah,
can work out whether it's within the budget. Now,
yeah,
this doesn't serve, like, if you can get out to somebody, great. But in the first instance, if I can, I'll just say, look, send me over a WhatsApp video or photos. Oh, so you're not really interested? No, no, I'll give you an estimate, and if it's within the budget, because they've already seen your work on Instagram, they've heard about you, so you're just giving them a budget and just say, yeah, you're looking at X, you're looking about 2 grand, for instance. Oh, do you know what? Actually, but it's just an estimate. I'll call out and give you a proper quotation if you're happy with that sort of, if that's gonna work. Oh,
yeah.
brilliant! That works. So that's the one then. It's priority because you know that could be possibly your customer.
Interested. Yeah,
Whereas
yeah, yeah,
if you turn around and say, if you don't mind, would you want to send me a WhatsApp or some photos of the exterior? Like, why are you going out to look at an exterior? Why are you going out to look at a kitchen in the first instance?
yeah,
I just think that's
yeah,
madness. Why are we running about at nights and weekends and jobs that you don't need to? So it's not arrogance. It's not you can't be arsed. It's efficiency. And then all you're doing is once they like or say yes, actually that's within the budget. You're being punctual. You're being polite. You're voice noting them. You're giving them a call. It's not you're just going send me a photo there, love, and I'll get you a price across. So once you
Yeah,
do
yeah,
that, you give them a call back. You discuss what options, what it is that they're actually trying to achieve, and then if they like it, I'll go out and I will give them the best service and do a proper quotation for them, because I know
yeah,
it isn't going to be a waste of my time because I know that A, they like our work online. B, I'm within their budget. Okay, so now it comes down to the relationship. If I'm being punctual on the phone, emails and messages, right? Well, there's another bonus. So when I go out on site, I make sure that there's no water stains, there's no damp, there's nothing that's going to go terribly wrong. I then go, yeah, you're looking at X. Oh,
yeah,
happy
yeah,
days. When do you want booked in? And then if you want to send me over the deposit, we'll get you locked in because you're not on the books unless you've sent your deposit over. That's it.
yeah, yeah,
And I started to cut out so many, just work out. Like you said to me there, you want to do the nice work that you can take your time, do an awesome job on, etc., etc. So they're the jobs you want. That's it. They're the
yeah,
ones you price.
yeah,
You know,
yeah. A
that's
big,
how I operate.
a big thing. I don't know. I can't remember which episode it was. I can't remember. I think it was last 2 or 3 episodes of the pod. One of the lads was saying, I think you said it as well. Taking a diary and writing down how a job went, like,
Always.
and then go, right, I lost money there. Yeah, that was too slow. That was too fast. Or whatever way it went, because I've been doing that for like I'd say the last month, and it's speeded up pricing. It's speeded up, right? I'd be sitting down going, right, uh, what size was the room? Right, look back at the video. Video is blah 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 blah, and then I'd be going, right. That's how much it is for a thing. Is there extra work to go on top of that? See that sitting room? Yeah, right. There's wallpaper to be stripped. Right, that's an extra such and such, and then kind of like making it a system so that it's not I'm just pulling figures out of a hat. Do you know the
Yeah.
sort of way it's that's how I was trying to like right. That did take me 2.5 days. I'm gonna have to get at least 3 days cover that and then
But
add that in.
so this is the thing, right? We all have a mobile phone. So even to this day, every single day, I record sanding all doors took X. Uh, I record me spraying 7 doors. It took 14 minutes, or it took 7 minutes to get them all sprayed. 7 minutes. And that's quite long actually. But people talk about their bill of quantities and how long their production rates. Record yourself sanding the staircase. That took, start to finish. I started at 2 o'clock. It took me till 4:30 to sand the staircase. It's all there. It's easy. We're doing it already. If
Yeah,
you look at your gallery and you like me, say we paint a gable wall and it's 2 men and it took from 2 o'clock to 4:30. So it took what 5 hours. Um, then 5 hours to paint a coat of that wall. Well, you look at that exterior, say it's a rendered exterior apex with one window, right? Well, the next time you go, then it's going to take 3 coats, say, or 2 coats.
yeah,
You can do your own job costing and start
yeah, yeah,
referencing. So if you do, like, a bedroom's a bedroom,
yeah,
it's not,
yeah,
so you record 3 or 4 bedrooms and you'll get an average and you'll go right. And I'm not talking about you going 100 mile an hour and telling yourself it's going to take 8 hours and takes you 15. I'm talking
yeah,
about
yeah, yeah,
an 8 hour day. And then you start working out your averages and your production rates per job, per item. So how long does it take to sand the skirt in one bedroom? Record it. Stop
yeah,
watching. How long did it take to caulk a bedroom? Record it. How long did it take? And when you actually calculate I have it somewhere. I think I have it on the Academy group, on Paintworks Academy group on Facebook. I'll have to find that post. I recorded exactly how long it took me to do every single item in a bedroom or a living room. and totaled
Right.
up all the jobs. For me, I know right away it's going to take me between 2.5 days, stroke 3 days, or it could take me to do a standard room. It takes me 3 days.
Yeah.
But if I get it done in 2.5, brilliant. That's even
Happy
more for
days.
me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm
Yeah.
allowing 3 days because that's what it takes to do
Mm.
the room the way I want to do it. Now that's a standard, say, standard sized room. All rooms are not the same. So it's
It's
like,
just being
well,
efficient.
it's not even being efficient. It's like this is what I need to do it right. And it's like I need it done cheaply. Well, what's not getting done?
Yeah.
Because if you've recorded exactly how long it takes you, Adam, to do it all, you're not. If you go off me, you're either gonna make a lot of money, or you're gonna lose a lot of money. Because that's my production rates.
Yeah.
I know how to do things my way, and I have a way of working. So when somebody says to you, "Mate, I charge £300 a room," you, you, what are you doing? Who are you comparing that to? So you
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
make
Yeah.
sure you're pricing things the way you need to price it to make money. And I think that's how I get caught out for a long time. But every single one of us have the opportunity to be recording all these things, and if you're filming for content anyway, it's sitting there,
It's double whammy. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
so you can actually
Um,
use it. So if you next week or your next couple of jobs, and this is for anybody that's struggling to sort of work out their rates and what to charge, actually document every single item of that room, then charge it out, work out exactly work out how long it actually took you. Why did you charge that? Well, that's what I thought it was going to be. And then you're able to say, well, this is where I'm going wrong, this is where I'm losing.
yeah.
I'm not allowing for that, you know but that's how I figured it out, which was just document every single piece of data, information, log in every single job, and it takes time. But a room's a room. A
Yeah.
panel door against a six panel door, a flat panel door against six panel door. It's how many different types of doors is there? It's
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just logging everything, Adam. You know,
Well, there's no blurred lines. It's there in front of you. Do you know what I
it's
mean?
right
It's
there.
it's
It's
X
can you
X
be
Y and Z.
arsed? It's
Yeah.
can you be
Yeah.
arsed? So if
Yeah.
somebody tells
Yeah.
me they're not making money or something's going wrong, and they're working really hard and they're charging 250 a day or 300 a day, but they're not making money, where did you get that figure from?
Yeah.
That's just
Heard it in
made
the
up.
paint shop. Yeah.
Yeah, but you see it
Yeah.
all the time. You see it all the time in the forums. How
Yeah.
much is everybody charging? 200, 250, 150, 180, 500. It means bollocks if
Yeah.
you don't know your costs for
Yeah.
starters.
What or what's an apprentice? What's the going rate for an apprentice? Whatever he's gonna make you. Do you know what I mean? Whatever he's worth. If he's worth 120 quid a day, if he's worth 150 quid a day, do you know what I mean? If he's making your life easy, pay the man. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
If you're making
yeah,
money,
there's another way, another angle looking at that, because I'll say to somebody, I need more men, I need more men, I need more women, whatever. Well, how
yeah,
much does one of your men make you a year profit? I don't know. Well, why don't you know?
yeah,
Well, and then it's like, well, so why are you not training somebody up, or why are you not upskilling the member of staff that's maybe could be doing spraying for you or doing more things for you? I don't have time. Okay, so you're paying them a basic rate, and you can't be arsed to spend a couple of pound to help them upskill.
yeah. It's
And
handsome. Yeah,
look at the returns you're gonna get because your other guys are making X, but yet we'll spend £1,000 or £1,500 on dustless sander, but we'll not spend it on our biggest assets, which is our team.
yeah. Manpower. Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
It's a big
so
one.
it's how you look at it and what angle you're looking at it, and it's like, oh, there's no resources out there, there's nobody out there. Yeah, but what are you doing about it? What are you doing to keep the men that are working for you?
Yeah.
What are you doing to attract people? Have you even put out a paid advert?
Mm.
Have you even
You have
searched
to
the
go to the
correct?
right area.
Yeah, you have to
You know.
go looking for them.
Yeah. They're not gonna land in front of you, big time. No.
No, so
No.
it's how
Like
you approach.
I think if I hadn't gone into the youth club, and that was only just for the crack, you know what I mean? I was just something to get out of doing chores. And if I had never gone in there looking to play pool, asking your man Dave for a job, would have never went near painting. There's no trades in my family. Nobody. They've all had corporate jobs, taxi drivers. You know, it's you kind of have to go to them places where either the youth are, or the
That's true.
GAA pitch. Like I've asked two or three lads there. Like I went to a minor training session because they're all 18, 19, and they're all just leaving school, don't know what they're doing. Grand, come on in, have a day's rate, have a day's work here, see if you like it. Do you know what I mean? So I've had three different guys just for a day. No, two of them loved it. The other fella hated it. Was going home at 1 o'clock. Oh, I don't want paint on my hands. Hated it. But it was good. It was good crack for me. But also, he knows now 100% in his head. I'm not being painted. I'm not doing a painter's job. No way.
Yeah,
You know,
100%.
the other two lads got a taste for it. And the same with my little brother. I brought my little brother in last week, and he was all about, like, I could just see by him. He's getting a little bit of an interest, but he's interested in money. And I was like, right, grand. So I dropped him off on a job, and I said, power hose that wall for me. Grand. Uh, that was the Monday, the Tuesday. Wednesday, I had him sanding a staircase, sanding away, blah, blah, blah. And loves doing it with his hands. And then when it came to painting, didn't have the patience. Do you know? Didn't have the patience at all. And he says to me, you just give me a shout whenever you have a big job that you need the prep done, and I'll come in and do the prep with you. And I
Yeah,
was kind of going, right, that's great to know that. But you kind of have to go looking for these guys in the right areas. Do you know what I mean? Like, get in, ask one of the lads who's trained the local teams, or in the paint shops. Like one of the guys was telling me that there's lads going in saying in the paint shops, like, if there are any painters taking on people, you
yeah,
know, and leave your phone number behind, and somebody will catch you. Do you know what I mean?
hundred
Because
percent.
we talk to the paint shop lads more than we talk to our missus. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're in there all the time. I'd be talking away to Brian like as if he's ringing him and texting him the whole time. Get us an order, such and such, blah blah blah. They're the best guys to leave information with. Go
Yeah,
into Crown, go into Dulux, go into all these places and leave your information. And the painters that want to hire good guys will find you. Do you know the sort of way? They will find you. Um, that's
but
that's
even
that's that's
even Nick Slavik said, Adam, if in your local town, local groups, if you can't find good humans, one or two good humans, and you can't train them up to fucking mask, caulk, sand, and do, because if they're good people, you can train good people.
yeah,
And
they'll
if
want it.
if
Yeah,
and if they're hungry, well, even better because you're hungry. So the sooner you train them and work with them and invest in them, nurture them, the sooner you're gonna get the returns. But they'll probably
exactly.
leave. Well, no, they won't leave if you give them a no reason to leave. You know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um. So there's always opportunity out there, but I think it's our mindset and it's how we approach it and it's how we it's the story we're telling ourselves, I suppose.
Mm.
Um. What's the with starting out? What's the biggest thing you purchased that you didn't really need and you regret? Have you got
Um.
anything?
Jesus. I'm still at the crossroads about this brand new Merca that's in the back of the van here.
Yeah.
Um. I'm still at the crossroads. It hasn't made me the money yet.
No.
Definitely has not made me the money.
No.
Yeah, has made me life a little bit easier at times. Then today I was tripping over the wire and I thought, oh fuck this! I'm just gonna throw that back in the room there. And just yeah. It's just I was falling down the staircase, tripping over the wire, and then I was kind of like, there's an attachment for this. You have to buy this. You have to buy that. You have to this, that, and the other. And I was kind of going, oh, I'm after opening up a Jack's box here.
Yeah.
Sanding discs are dearer. Um, the orbital, it's great, but it doesn't do much for doors. You'd want the palm sander, stuff like that. Yeah, it looks the part, looks all the business. But when I walk into the house, I'm on two little jobs. I'm on a big job and then a smaller job. And I was saying to your man, oh yeah, it's a new sander, la 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 la. That's grand. He doesn't care less. He
No.
just wants no dust in his house.
No.
He just wants the job done, and he wants you to be done and gone.
Yeah.
It's not. They just want you in and out. They want the job finished. So yeah, I think this. I don't know. I don't want to say it out loud because
I'm going to.
forking.
I'm going to. I'm fired up here. I'm fucking going for it. I'm gonna say something really controversial maybe in the industry, but I think a giraffe wall sander is the biggest waste of money for anybody starting out. Buying these £1,000 pieces of kit is a waste of money. And I'll tell you why. They're designed for drywall. They're not designed for plaster. And they're right over
Yeah,
the lumpy, bumpy, shitty plaster, and they don't get all the filler necessarily, and you have to go back over it anyway with your hand, your bit of sandpaper and your sponge, and you have to have it sitting mint. That's what I think. I think I
yeah.
always reach for the Deros 90% of the time over the Leros, the
Which
big
one is
wall
what now?
sander. So
I'm still.
the Leros is the 220. It's the big one. It's the big
Yeah,
giraffe sander.
that's the big wall fella.
And
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, so and what I'm trying to say is right. It has its place, but my point is, do you need to spend 8 or 900,000 pound on one, or do you go buy the
no,
wee Titan out of fucking Screwfix for 99 quid and you make your money
yeah,
back like that?
yeah, yeah.
I'm
I was
sorry.
I was thinking of going all in with it, and then I was like, no, just give me the. I got the detail one, the little mouse one, little
Yeah,
triangle one.
yeah,
I got him for the stairs and the doors because I just standing in between spindles and stuff like that. And that is made. It's deadly. It is deadly.
yeah,
And the little small orbital one, and they are good. I
yeah,
thought they'd be more powerful. I thought they'd be, boom, it's gone, it's off. No, it's like I'm holding it on a bit more, and I'm kind of going, the D-Walt done this, you know, with the
yeah.
Hoover on the back.
100%.
It did. And now I'm looking at the price of sand pads, and I'm kind of going, holy shit.
Yeah.
They're
As an
all of a sudden they're
apprentice,
dearer.
or somebody going out on their own, or somebody who's starting to learn an apprentice and thinking of starting to build their gear up and looking at all the stuff on Instagram and Facebook and thinking, I need a Great Go sprayer, I need a Merca system or a Festool, and that's going to make me the dog's bollocks. It's not. It's going to make you an empty bank account. You don't need it.
Yeah,
You need to get
yeah,
yourself a decent hand sander and bucket into a Hetty Hoover or a Henry Hoover or an M
yeah,
class Hoover to be responsible. And I reckon you can get kitted out for less than 200 quid and you will
yeah,
make profit. You will make
yeah,
money. You will not be chasing, trying to find the 1,500 quid that you've just forked out for a Merca. And Mercas are great. I have too many of them. But my point is, you don't need to be. I'm talking about somebody starting out. Start out to make money, not spend
yeah,
money.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. The sprayer I got a sprayer even before I was out by myself years ago. And a woman rang me, oh, Pebble Dash. I was like, oh yeah, I'll spray it. That was grand. And I was kind of going to me dad, like, I'm after getting one down the road. I'm after getting that big spray job. And he goes, grand, yeah, you've no sprayer. What are you going to do? It's like, oh shit, yeah. I'm going to have to buy a sprayer. So I'm going everywhere. Where the fuck am I going to get a sprayer? Looking at this one, looking at that one, 1,200 quid. 1,200 quid. I'm not even charging her that for the job. So that was grand. And he was kind of going, buy it and it'll be a good investment, the whole lot. And I was like, I'm not paying the whole price of the job out for a sprayer. I was like, I'm not. Looking everywhere. Went onto a forum and I found a little Wagner 250M. It was a 300 and something quid.
Yeah.
And I have it nearly 6 years, and it has made me more than 350 quid. Do you know what I
There you
mean?
go.
It's just
Love it.
fucking brilliant
Love
machine.
it.
Like, and I just keep looking after it, make sure all the tips are good. and it's just, I love it. It's a little beaut. It looks ugly, little ugly thing. It's not nice. It doesn't look spanking new. Like,
It's a
I'd
bit
love
like
a new
me.
Graco.
Bit like me.
She has her wares. But
Uh,
it's so reliable. Like, it's so reliable. I won't touch that for 3 or 4 months, and then next minute I could have 3 or 4 spray outs, big spray jobs, pebble dashing, front of houses, stuff like that. And then, like, I was like, oh, I'm gonna look into getting all the kitchen stuff. And yeah, man, Brian, that carpenter, he does a bit of spraying. And I was kind of like, if I get a kitchen in, could I just rent your space off you for a weekend? Yeah, no problem. And another
brilliant.
guy down, he is, what's the point in paying 2.5 grand and having a sprayer there? Great. Unless you've got 10 kitchens lined up, you'll make a few quid, you know. But the likes of Kevin Hottie and these kind of guys that have their kitchen man, you know what I mean? He's a kitchen sprayer. Yeah, he's gonna invest in the 2.5 grand, 3 grand spraying boot, the whole bits and pieces. But there's no point if I'm not gonna go at it full time.
Well,
Do
I
you know what I
think
mean? Or
actually, I think Adam, Kevin actually, I think I thought he did, but he actually rented. I think it was a car sprayer, had all that, and I think Kevin rented it. It all was all within that, and I
right,
think that's how that started because I was like, did I think it was? I thought he went all the investment of a booth, and I think it was just so happened the unit had the booth, which
just as
turned out
happy.
well for him. But it's about being
Yeah,
creative, as you say. It's about making the calls, asking around, how can I keep costs down until
yeah,
you make a, because at the end of the day, we're trying to figure out, is this what we want to do? Is that what I want to do? So test the water first and make sure it's something you enjoy. That's why I have the taster events where you can come,
yeah,
give it a go and see if it's going to be suitable. Now, you're up at the academy. Did you learn anything?
yeah, yeah. I did. To be fair, I learned a lot. I learned a lot. I loved every second of it. To be honest, now I did. I learned I absolutely loved it. Like,
Did you fire it
come here.
up?
I have a list of stuff that I want to buy. I have a list of things I want to start. If I never had to use a paintbrush and a roller ever again, I'd hang paper and spray until my heart contents. I absolutely just think there's nothing like the spray gun. I just think it's so deadly. I just think the quickness of it, everything, Um, yeah, I loved it. The angles, the different angles, how to not waste paint. The amount of paint I've been wasting over the years spraying mist coats. Holy shit. Like,
Yeah.
the amount of buckets of extra paint that I've had to get that I didn't price into a job just because I'm holding the trigger too long. I'm not releasing quick enough. I'm over spraying twice. I'm, 50% over 50%, even tinning the paint too much. I was doing all of it wrong because
Angles.
I was just
All about the angles.
like, the angles was unbelievable, and getting yourself free was just something else. And I'd be upstairs getting dressed, and I'll just start doing that little jig, I do this little
Loosey
ever
goosey.
since
Loosey
the
goosey.
loosey goosey, yeah. And Aaron does be looking at me going, "What are you doing?" I do be, if I'm in a nightclub, I'm gonna start bringing that in. But yeah, it was brilliant. Really was an eye opener, to be honest with you. I definitely want to get into it. Definitely want to get into it big time. I've 2 kitchens booked in, and I'm at the crossroads of, do I go back? Do I rent off Brian again? Do I get that little? He has a gun, a compressor, and all bits and pieces, or do I try and push forward? But like that, it's agency and right. Put up something about a kitchen, see if it bites. If I get a few more kitchens or a wardrobe or
You
something
need
in.
to you need to come up and do the in-house kitchen course here in October. I show you how to
Oh
do it
yeah,
all in the customer's house
I might do that. Yeah,
with the
yeah.
airless. It's absolutely fucking amazing. It was one of the best courses I've done. All in house. We did it in 3.5 days. Philip, Barry, and Eddie. With the airless, set up the spray booth, the dry area,
Right.
and done the whole thing. It was absolutely so much fun, very enjoyable, and it's a
Yeah,
solution for guys that want to spray kitchens that don't have units. That's why I done it, because these guys were
yeah.
asking, and I said, right, let's roll it, let's go, let's make it happen.
Yeah, yeah. Because the
But
prices that they're looking for units down here is the same price as a mortgage. Do you know what I mean?
you don't
Yeah,
need it.
You don't need it. It's mad money to be thinking that you have to make 1,500 quid or 1,000 quid a month to pay for
Not
this
that.
space.
Not a
Like
chance.
it's mad money. It's
Oh,
mad
you
money.
have to,
But
yeah, you have to do that to get. No, you don't. You don't.
yeah.
I'm sorry, you don't. But where do you see where we're going? Where we in 5 years' time? Where's the AH gonna be? We're gonna be more spraying contractors. What are we looking at?
Yeah. I'd like to get into this kind of fine finishing, spraying. I'd like to. Yeah, I like the idea of doing a 4 day week. I think that's something that should be implemented big time. Um, I think getting in. I'd like to get somebody in to train, but I don't want to do that until I'm well established. Do you know the sort of way? I want to be able to go, I will have consistent work for you because there'd be nothing worse. I would feel nothing but shame if I didn't have enough work for the guy. Do you know the sort of way? Or if I could train him in and let him paint away and then, you know, alternate, put him on spray courses, put him on wallpapering courses, because I think paper hanging is coming back big time. Big time.
Oh,
I think
100%.
it's and there's not many guys that want to touch it, you
No.
know. And when I was doing my time with Dave, I absolutely hated every second of it. Like I thought I'll never hang a roll of paper, and then from doing all the Nixers and the kitchen company and the other crowd, I was like, oh, fuck, when am I gonna get to hang a bit of paper again? You know, I was like, someone just give me a little paper job. So once I got back the taste of paper, and I was just like, oh yeah, no, I want to be doing more paper, more spraying, big time. And I want to have my own house. I want to have a house with my own
Get
shed.
that mortgage
So
eventually.
yeah, that's the goal now. That's the goal. If to do another, what do they want? They want 2 years of profit books, and then once I have that, then hopefully we can go again, and they'll actually give us a few quid to buy something. But that's the goal at the minute. A house first, then I'll have a base. Still living with the in-laws, and if I've 3 or 4 ladders down the side gate, and I've tins of paint everywhere, and I'm washing out brushes at 10 o'clock when Aaron's mom and dad go to bed, and it's I need my own base. So once I have my own base, I'll be set up.
Awesome. I think you're gonna smoke it, mate. Andrew Mackey's saying there, you have a good head on your shoulders and fair play. Keep it up. Right, quick fire. Favorite brush?
Oh Jesus, favorite brush. Uh, 2 inch Fleetwood angled angled brush.
Okay.
Yeah,
Favorite
plain and
roller?
simple. Yeah. I'd say for me 4 inch and 2 inch, I'd go fuzzies all day, and then I would be, oh god, Hamilton all day for 9 inch.
Oh,
I love me
nice.
Hamilton 9 inch. Yeah,
And
yeah.
if you're airless or HVLP?
That's a big question at the minute. I don't know. I have an airless, so
Airless.
I'd have to go for airless for now. But I do want to look at the HVLP. I think that's the way forward. I think it's. I think so. Yeah.
Interesting.
The car guys have been using it for years. You know, I think that could be something to look into.
Here,
Yeah,
you're never done learning. You gotta keep her lit.
yeah, exactly. There's no, you can have the two of them.
Interior, exterior.
Uh, oh, when the sun is shining, obviously exterior, but they break your back. They absolutely break your back. They can
Uh,
destroy you. So I'd have to. I like it. I like a job with mostly interior work, big time. Yeah, yeah.
New builds or repaints.
Oh Jesus, these are all hard. Both, both. I
Okay.
like a blank canvas, but I also like going in to fix something.
And
Restoring something.
are you a day rate man or price work?
Price, all day price. Yeah, yeah.
And do you
It depends.
prefer?
It depends mostly on the jobs now, but mostly price.
Yeah. And do you prefer work on your own, or would you like to have employees?
Uh, 50-50. I wouldn't want someone all the time. I definitely wouldn't
So
want
just
somebody
a
all
bit
the
of
time.
company.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I get lonely. Like I do be listening to
Fuck's sake, give me a
podcasts, and then
call,
I
will
do be.
you? Whenever you're lonely, just give me a call, because I'm fucking lonely too up here. Huh? A
Oh,
bit of
stop!
crack.
Yeah, no, it's I get sick of them. I couldn't wait to drop my brother home 2 weeks ago. Oh, I couldn't wait.
And are
I
you
was
an
like,
early
"Mom, he's all yours."
are you an early starter or late finisher? Or
Ah,
both at the minute?
yeah, pretty much.
I
Jesus,
like
I'm only
see
in the
I'm an
door.
early guy. I'm up at 5 every morning. Fucking let's go.
It depends. It depends on the job, and obviously the customer. I like getting up and going and being home early, but it never happens. It never happens. I like being on site for 8 o'clock, 8:15 at the latest, and 4:30 gone out the gap. See you later. Um, if you haven't got on your work done before by then during that them hours, then you know you're at nothing.
That's it.
So yeah, kind
And
of 8 o'clock, man.
what is there any bit of equipment that you'd really like to buy? Is there something out there that you're busting to get?
The GXFF, I think that's the next thing on the hit list.
No, using it today. I've been using it all last week and the week before. What a tasty piece of kit that is. I love it.
Yeah, yeah. I'm on a staircase very similar to what you only finished, and I was just looking at your thing. I was like, this would go so hand in hand. I would just be done by now. I'd be I'm hand rolling it. I'm undercoating it tomorrow, and I'm just like to myself, oh my god, I need to get that sprayer in. Oh,
I
I'm just like, yeah,
I did the staircase. I did all the ceilings and walls with it. I even got a bit creative because the doors weren't dry, so the customer last minute decided they want all the handles changed. So I had them
right.
sitting ready to go, and then I then had to fill them, but I'd scheduled all the woodwork was being sprayed and the doors. So I thought I'm gonna have to wrap all the doors to spray the woodwork. And I don't know if you've seen the video of me with my wee new invented tool for spraying the woodwork, the wee shield.
The little shield, yeah, yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
So I was able to do this. Was mad. I was bouncing the whole way home because I'd done all my woodwork, sprayed it, didn't have to mask my doors, no paint anywhere. And the big advantage is, right, so with spraying, as you know, you're wasting paint on the floor. But what you do with this is you just brush it all back into the hopper.
Yeah, yeah,
There's no waste.
yeah,
So if you just
yeah,
take a wee bit of extra time, so showing like Paddy today in the course, he was just like, "Holy shit,"
yeah.
because like it's just no waste, but you just take your time. It's a game changer. But and then it
Right.
allowed me then the next day I was able to mask the doors in situ, which I've started doing as well. So mask the doors in situ, and I was able to spray all the doors hanging on the hinge. Absolute game changer.
Well, this is
So
it. Yeah, time saved, big time. Yeah.
so it
I
took me
thought it
that.
was the best machine, 100%.
Yeah, it
I
was
thought it was
lovely wee machine, you know.
yeah.
Um,
Even
what
that day we done the little tester course with you. It was by far, apart from the kitchen door that we sprayed with the PU, that was unreal. The coverage, but the just how light, quick, the hose, everything about the Graco was just unbelievable. You know what I
yeah,
mean? There was no flaw with it. There was no flaw with it at all.
yeah, no, it's tasty. And what's one tool you couldn't be without, apart from the
Ugh.
obvious one?
Oh, get rid of it. Anyone want to buy a workout? I want to go on a holiday next week.
Brilliant, brilliant.
Jesus, what would you not go without? The van. The van is the biggest thing, and it's the best thing you're gonna have because once this van turns on in the mornings and the four wheels are driving, you can go anywhere to pick up whatever else you need to get. Without the van in the morning, you're goosed. I think it's the biggest asset. That is the biggest thing you need. Um,
Yeah,
big time. You know, your scrapers, your brushes, your rollers. Yeah, you need it all. It's all small stuff, but there's adaptable ways to you know, you can brush a door if you forget your roller. You know, it's your van. You need to be able to get there. Big
Yeah.
time.
And as a 26-year-old, just like myself, when I started paintworks, then I up, you're 6 months out on your own. What does success mean to you, Adam?
Jesus. I think not having to work extra hours, not having to work a Saturday or a Sunday. Um, Being able to go. Like, I think this week is the first week in, I'd say, easily 6 months that I don't have a job to finish or price on Saturday and Sunday. And I was like to Aaron, oh, "Are you off on Saturday?" "Yeah, yeah, I'm off Saturday." I was like, "Well, what do you want to do? What are we gonna do? We have to do something because I'm not working. You're not working. We have to do something." And it was just, I was kind of like, right, this is how I need to work forward now. No more Saturdays, no more Sundays. You know, having family time. You know, that's just, you can have all the money sitting there, but if you're not spending time with the family, then you're really at nothing.
Yeah. I think it gets to a
So
point where you end up losing that somebody because of it,
yeah,
which I
big time.
almost
Yeah,
did once. I almost lost Danielle because my head was up my ass. And I think whenever you get that point where you forget what's really important, which is
yeah,
the relationships, the people that you love and the people you care about, and you get so caught up and I'm so busy, I'm so this. Like, shut up. Get
yeah,
on busy.
yeah,
Get your shit
yeah,
together.
yeah. Exactly.
Because
Yeah,
if you do lose that somebody you care about, you'd give anything to get them back. Do you know what I mean?
oh, this is it. Yeah,
And
you'd
it's too
sell your
late.
Merca.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
better. Maybe get a couple of good nights out of that, but no, like 100%. For me, again, I think it's time, isn't it? I think that's what you're trying to say. Is just
Yeah,
time
yeah. Time
and
is, yeah.
living life in your terms.
Yeah, this is it. You know, I'll be in my 30s before I know it, and it's just, you know, you want to be able to remember the things that you were doing. Like, we're painting to make money to go do the fun stuff. You know, that's
That's
the way
right.
it should be.
That's
You
right.
know, you're to go on the holidays, to go do all the mad stuff you want to do, to have the weekends away, and
Make
not to
memories.
miss anything. Yeah, this is it. You know, not to get all bleeding soft, but that is it.
Need to go
Yeah,
there. Need to go there. How do you
that's
look
it.
after yourself? How do you keep yourself sane? How do you keep all
Uh,
that shade out of your life? Or have you got a mechanism? Do you suffer a lot from stress or getting the tough times?
yeah, yeah. I get overwhelmed easy enough when, if I'm on a job and the job is slowly rolling over and the phone is ringing off the hook, or text messages, or you have to get back to this person, or you're supposed to fly in here or there, it gets overwhelming very quickly. So
Yeah,
a little list, or I'll send a text message to Aaron and I'll just be like, 5 things I have to do tonight. I have to do all these before I go to bed. Bang, do them, done. Head switched off. Two of us watch a film. But I play hurling and football, so kind of, if I'm either training or I'm out to
excellent.
a match on Sunday morning, you know. So I've always done that since I'm all the way up. I've been hurling and football, and then the odd time, if I'm hoping to God now this weekend I'll get out for maybe 18 holes somewhere, somewhere. I'll swing a
Oh,
club
we'll have to
somewhere.
get a round of golf in sometime.
Ah, yeah, I
I mean,
love
I
it.
don't
I
I
love
don't
golf.
play golf, but I like the walking. I like the
Yeah,
beer.
yeah,
I like driving the
yeah.
carts. Huh?
Crashing the
Huh?
cards.
That's it. That's
Oh,
it.
stop. Yeah,
Let's get
no,
out
I
and
love
crack.
getting out. Yeah,
I'm doing
no,
a
I
I'm
love
doing
getting
I'm,
out.
I'm doing a half marathon here on Sunday with Danielle. So yeah.
Jesus.
So
Yeah,
yeah, Danielle's trained really hard for it, and her best
fair
friend
play.
is unable to do it. So Danielle asked me to do it. So I'm gonna go give that a go. I haven't
You
trained
better
for it
not
or
be
nothing,
slacking.
but I'll keep her lit. And
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
keep at it. So 5 years from now or a year from now, where we gonna be? What's the goal?
Um, AH painting and decorating hopefully expands a bit. Um, Expands into kind of a small bit of commercial, hopefully. small bit of more spraying, defo more spraying. I want to be getting into kitchens. I think kitchens and wallpaper,
Yeah.
big time. That's kind of where I want to push towards. I've done enough painting and decorating. I think I've done enough, rolling out walls. You kind of get sick of it after a while. So hopefully have a guy with me, and hopefully spraying kitchens, painting kitchens, and hanging paper.
Love it. Well, I have every faith in you. I think you're gonna
Cheers.
smash it. Excuse me, I have a tickle in my throat. I think you're gonna do awesome. As even Andrew said there, he says you have a good head on your shoulders, and you keep listening to the right
Cheers.
people, keep asking the right questions in the groups, especially Irish Paint Fam. And there's a lot of people, as I say, who have lots of experience, and they're more than willing to give it out. And that's the beauty of it all, is that you help the next man up or woman.
Yeah.
And listen, I have very much enjoyed this conversation. I could chat for another hour and a half, but I reckon you would know my ass sitting in that van. So
It's yeah. I could do with going in. I could do with sitting down inside. All right.
if I could get to dinner, you probably haven't had your dinner yet.
No, not yet. I normally have dinner about 10 o'clock, 9:30, 10 o'clock. So I'll be. But that has to change soon.
It does. It does.
Home for 6. Home for 6 now. Yeah, that's the new rule. Home for 6 and finished on Friday.
Well, what would
No more
future?
extra.
What would future? Awesome business 5 years from now, Adam tell you? If he'd tell you don't need to be doing that. You need to get your shit together, take control,
Yeah,
and live life in your terms. So
exactly.
make it happen, and I will catch up with you very soon. If you want to wait behind a couple of minutes, I'll be with you shortly. If you
Yeah.
want to let everybody know where they can find you online.
Instagram, painting and decorating. And yeah, pretty much Instagram, Facebook. So yeah.
Yeah, and if you are somebody
That's me.
who's in the game and thinking about going out on your own, maybe you're young and you've got a few questions, bounce over to Adam. I'm sure he'll be happy to
Shoot me a
help.
text. 100%. Yeah, yeah.
And
Absolutely would love it.
we're gonna see big things from Adam here, no doubt about it. So, Adam, thank you so much. Have a awesome evening and appreciate your time. I will be with you shortly.
Thanks a
Good
mil.
one. No bother. Wow, that was awesome. I really enjoyed that conversation. Great speaking with Adam and learning all about his journey so far. And I hope you've all enjoyed the episode. As always, thank you to everybody that watches every week, who messages me, who rings me, and likes the YouTube channel, leaves comments, supports the podcast through Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon. It's hard to keep up, to be honest, but I really enjoy it. Love meeting people, hearing about their stories, their journeys. And if you would like to be on the podcast, I've had a couple of people recently reach out who would love to get on. Absolutely. Reach out, feel free. Everyone's welcome. It's something I want to continue and keep at it. I enjoy it. It's like fucking therapy for me. It's good crack. And sure, what wrong can come from connecting others in the industry? So, listen, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your evening, what's left of it, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay healthy, stay happy, and stay profitable. Boom.